Hi all, welcome back to more Labyrinth. Weekend playing the Arab Spring scenario solo. This is part 14 it'll be, yeah? I think. Yeah, I've just come straight back there. So, yeah, it's just been a minute or so and I'll copy it across when I'm done with this. I'll probably only get this one more part. So, yeah, they've just done some stuff. Not very good stuff. They knocked us to a penalty there. They put in a reaction marker in there to balance out that awakening marker that we had just put in. It's quite strange the way that the bot seems to react quite a lot to things that you've done. I know some of that will be built into the flowchart and the priorities, but it can be quite eerie at times when you see it reacting that way. And then just put a sail, managed to travel a sail from Afghanistan into Algeria, Tunisia. So let's hope they don't get a good die roll with that. So it's us to play. We've got these two cards left. I should certainly keep my last card, as I know now how to do that when Johnny put me straight eventually. Eventually got it through into my head. Because they've still got one card to play, but I do need to play one of these. That's the thing. If I do this, then I'm going to have that extra card. Well, what did I say? It was going to improve my prestige and not their funding. That's not terrible. Because knocking their funding is taking it to 7. And then they're going to drop down at the end of the turn, unless the last card, of course, doesn't end. They're going to drop down into moderate, which means that they've not got access to recruit the A2 cells. I know that's not what they're going to prioritise at the moment, but and status quo can't be played just now. And well, what would you do with 3 ops right now? There's things we could do. I feel like sort of just taking my chances and leaving this sitting. I could bring some troops out. I think the thing is, if I had 2 troops in here right now, it cost me 2 cards to remove that cell. Yes, I would get 2 prestige though. So, and then it would stop the risk of them possibly getting a lucky die roll of a 1 and then putting my good Algeria Tunisia affair. But again, to move my troops, I only need 1 ops, so I've got 3. Yeah, when we use reserves, we've got to use them all as well. It's not that I can do 2 different operations for 1 ops. And I might have considered sorry, I remember we've got a -1 global on terror right now as well, Grant. There's a couple of countries. Well, Iraq's probably the best one to go for, isn't it? Iraq, the fact we've got the aid marker in there, but having the global war on terror penalty, you're not going to remove that unless you spend one of the cards on that. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to go and get that card and just play it. Hit their funding, hit our prestige. Yeah, you're going to take a hit to your prestige as well, Grant, aren't you? I don't know if it's worthwhile keeping the status quo card or not. It's still a 3-ops card I'm keeping till next turn. Yeah, getting there. The other thing is their funding is going to drop to moderate, and remember, Grant, it means they only get 8 cards. We're still getting 9. That's a good boost as well. Right, okay, let's do that. So I'm going to play this for the event, Operation Neptune Spear. So let's have a look at the event. Right, Operation Neptune Spear. Perhaps the most singular event in the global war on terror over the last 5 years was the successful raid on Osama bin Laden's compound and the removal of the fugitive yet figurative leader of global jihadism. Tireless intelligence gathering made the event possible. So, Operation Neptune Spear, CIA discovers high-value target safe house. So, search through the discard pile and select, reveal and draw one of Ayman al-Zawahiri, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, Abu Sayyaf, Jihadi John, or Osama bin Laden into hand. Right, I don't think any of the other ones have appeared. I think I would have recognised them. So I've got these, I had set these 2 aside. So these were the 2 possible options. This one would give me +1 prestige. Or +2 if Caliphate Capital in play. It's not a Caliphate Capital in play. Yeah, I've got to keep my eye on. The Caliphate thing comes when they play an event that places 3 cells. I want to say it's going to say it on the event card, but because it's quite a... I think I would recognise it if a card came along and says place 3 cells somewhere. It's 3 or more cells when they get played through event, triggers the Caliphate thing. Anyway, that card's okay, but this is better because it hits their funding. So that's -1 funding and then +1 prestige. It would be +2 prestige if Osama bin Laden was removed. It's not, and then I remove that card. So I'm going to put that back in the discard pile, Jihadi John, because I'm not going to take that one. So I'm going to take this card through that. And then my second card play, I'm going to play that for the event. Okay, so Ayman al-Zawahiri, Egyptian Ayman al-Zawahiri, has inherited from Osama bin Laden a fractured Al-Qaeda network. Continuously on the run, he has not been able to lead the organisation back to its original purposes and has lost many lieutenants to US drone strikes and the loss of allegiance of many followers to other organisations, in particular ISIL. Right, Ayman al-Zawahiri, second Imam of Al-Qaeda. So if US play, which it is, -1 to their funding and then +1 to our prestige. Like I say, Osama bin Laden has not been removed. And then this card gets removed. So -1 to their funding, down to 7. +1 to our prestige, up to 6. That's it. That's our 2 cards played. This was played, both were played for event. This gets discarded, this gets removed because we played it for event. That's it, and we've got 1 card left. Status quo, I don't know. Well, let's see what their last card is. Like anything happened there? Not really. We hit their funding, boost their prestige. Yeah, okay, let's play the last card then of theirs. Oh dear. Right, so it's a 3-ops. You had this card, Boko Haram. I seem to recall reading this one before. So in Nigeria, place a level 2 or 3 plot or place up to 3 cells. Each time this event is played, the jihadist player may return this card to hand by discarding a non-US associated 3-ops card. I think that bit is ignored. 186. tells us what the priority is, I think. 186. So, Boko Haram here. If non-Muslim, which Nigeria is, remember it can become Muslim, so it is non-Muslim. It's going to prioritise to place a pot 3, and if there was none of them, a pot 2, and if there was none of them, then it would place cells. And then if it was Muslim, it would prioritise the cells, then the pot 3, then the pot 2. And then it's got do not return to hand. Right, and then Jean-Yves had a little bit of a joke with me, I believe. Remember this now. Because this is, it says do not return to hand, and it's the end of the second sentence that's Muslim was suggested. I think, jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, that I might not have considered it for the non-Muslim priority because it's not got it at the end of there, but I didn't see it that way, so, and I'm pretty sure it's not that the case. So we're not going to return the card to hand. Well, to be honest, it's not got an option. He's got to discard the card from his hand to do it anyway, so he's not got any cards left. So it's not going to return the card. Nigeria is non-Muslim. So it's going to place a 3 pot. Well, there's only 1 pot exposed right now, and it's the number 1. So the 3 pot will be there. So that's what we're going to get. Just checking again. Place a... Yeah. Right. Okay. So, well, this is playable as well. So let's have a look. I didn't look at the event yet, did I? No. 186. Right. Give me a second. Okay. Boko Haram. The Chibok schoolgirl kidnapping on the night of 14th of April 2014 put this movement on the map, though not in this game since Nigeria was not represented geographically. A decision was made midway through alpha testing to add Nigeria and then Mali to the map as new countries via country mats and create a few more West Africa related event cards. This unique nature of this event card allows for the sudden surge of Boko Haram in the game without the need for multiple event cards covering the movement. Okay, so Boko Haram sub-Saharan jihadists activate. So we know it's going to place a level 3 pot in Nigeria and ignore the rest of that. Yeah. That's what it's going to do. Which is going to test Nigeria's posture. Ooh, that's interesting then. Yeah, that's kind of good. Well, unless we roll hard. So just checking back, 186. If non-Muslim, priority to plot 3, then plot 2, then cells. Yeah, okay. So it's going to place a level 3 pot. Again, we'll see if we can get lucky. I'm going to take it for that side. No, right, okay, so I need to go hunting for it. Hey, we're coming to the end of the turn anyway, so yeah, there's only 1 3, isn't there? So here's the level 3 pot. So that's going to go in Nigeria. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we need to test this with that. Right, and then the other pots are just going to get shoveled up. I'm just going to leave them sort of in a mix right now. If for some reason there's another reason to place a pot marker, I'll sort it out, but it's more than likely the other ones are going to go back to there and then we'll mix them up. And this is going to be... well, it's something we need to think about. We can actually block it. We've got a 3 ops card left. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm feeling I have to go and look this up, but initial tests, yeah, if a cell or plot is placed in it by event, roll for governance if Muslim or posture if non-Muslim, When a country whose governance or posture is not yet marked and is selected as has a cell or plot placed in it by event. So we're placing a plot in there, we've got to test the posture. Right, posture check for non-Muslim country. Now we could get lucky here. So 1 to 4 it'll be soft, which is what we want. 5 or 6 it'll be hard. Okay, 1 to 4 please. Excellent. Clunky, but we'll take it. Right, so Nigeria's posture is soft, which swings this back down to 0. So removing that penalty we had. But that's, the bot had to do that. It's not that, it was a die roll as well. It could have got lucky and it could have went hard. So there's nothing that stops it. It has to do the test on it. Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't a test and it was deliberately making it soft, then there might have been something that I would need to have checked up on, but okay. So posture soft, right, level 3. Okay, that's it. That's their event done. That's their turn finished. Last card played. No need for reserves or anything like that. No need to look at that. Right, so we've got a non-Muslim country, but it's not the US, with a plot. Let's remind ourselves then. The US is horrible, isn't it? It's like funding a 9, roll US posture, roll prestige. So non-Muslim country other than US, add plot's number to funding. Oh no. That's bad enough, because we just know that their funding is going to drop to 6 shortly. So if that plot goes off, they're going back up to 9, because they're at 7, and we know that's a 3. Thing is, it's not going to... Oh, it's going to roll its posture again. So add plot's number to funding. Add twice the number if country is good, well it's not. Or set funding to 9 if WMD, well it's not. Roll posture. And if WMD in a 2-player game, it's not. It's not Schengen. So... yeah, so we'd roll posture as well. Yeah, it's not going to hit prestige. So what's going to happen there, if we let that pot go off, they're going to go back to 9 funding, and we're going to roll the posture in Nigeria, so there's a chance that could go hard again. So have we found something to do with our status quo card then? I feel like I should. And it's not so much the roll and the posture, it's just stopping their funding going back up when I know it's going to drop to 6. Yeah. It's not that you get anything more from doing an alert the way, you just remove the pot and that's it. Well, actually, no, there's a slight improvement in the expansion, isn't there? In the fact that if it's a WMD you remove, you gain 1 prestige, yeah. But, well, it's not a WMD, so we know that. Well, I mean, the card is not... And I could keep it to next turn, but I'm still soft. It's unlikely to be... I'm probably going to be using it for 3 ops. I mean, maybe I should be doing that right now and just using it for 3 ops. Even if I wasn't removing that plot, maybe I should be doing something, like I've said, maybe trying Iraq. Well, that's just, yeah, I mean, we've got that penalty away now. So, hold on. Yeah, I mean, you could actually roll for that, couldn't you? That'd be a +1. I think just wait. Leave that. Yeah, I think I should stop their funding. I think I should. Okay, so my last card play, I'm going to play this for the ops, 3 ops. And yeah, I need to watch that. I mean, there's no caliphate situation anyway, but this means this can't be played in a caliphate country. Now, does that just mean the event? You sort of got to feel like it must, but then hang on. Put in a country with Tan regime change marker. I think it's just if played for event, but I suppose I'd double check that in case. So if I was doing it right now, for some reason Nigeria was a caliphate country. I don't think it can be. It's a non-Muslim country, but could I still play that for the 3 ops? And do an alert there. I think that'd be alright, but I'd be going to double check it anyway. So yeah, I'm going to do an alert. Don't know if I've done this yet or not. So purpose is to block and remove a plot. I think we may have done this actually. Target any country with a plot. We're targeting Nigeria. It cost me 3 ops. That was 3 ops. Select and reveal 1 plot marker if WMD removed from game. And if it was a WMD, we would remove it from the game and would gain 1 prestige. That's an awakening enhanced rule. And then if not, we move it to available plots box. So we know it's a level 3. We're going to remove that. It's level 3 and it goes up here. It doesn't directly go right back, but then we're coming to the end of the turn anyway, so they're going to go back. And that's why I've not bothered shuffling these up yet. Okay, we only had 1 card. It's gone. It was played for ops. It's just discarded, and that's that. So I'm going to take a short pause right now, so I'll be back shortly. Right, let's get the turn finished. Yeah, that's all the cards done. Okay, so end of turn. So we've got -1 funding. There's no fracking or pirates in play. So we do get them down to 6. So that's good. Moving on. -1 prestige if any countries Islamist rule, and then +1 if you've got global and terror. I max out at 3. So there is an Islamist rule country, so we drop to 5. This is not at 3, so we don't get boosted back up. That's fine. Reserves to 0. Ours are at 0. Again, the bot gets to cheat. Return plots to available. Okay, so there was 2 removed. I'm going to put them back. We've no WMDs around yet. I'm going to shuffle these up a bit, and like I say, I'll roll the dice when it comes to picking one anyway, and I'll put them back. There we go. Next. Right, polarization, attrition, a game of no civil war countries, so it's just polarization. Okay, so what we got out there now? Right, well, Syria's got differences 0, so no change. Turkey's got a difference in 1, no change. Right, let's do Gulf states first then. Gulf states has a difference of exactly 2, so we add 1 more. So that's at 3. Right, another note. Yemen there's got a difference of 1, so it stays the same. And then we've got the bad side of things is Pakistan. So it's got exactly 3. So it's already moved in alignment the last time, yeah. Okay, so it's now going to because it's already as far as it can go alignment wise, it's going to change its governance 1 level and then implement 11.15 if needed. So it's going to decrease the governance to poor. I'm trying to get the word there. Improve. What's the opposite of improve, Grant? 11.15. Or is it not in the player aid enemy grant? 1.15. Disengagement. Degrade. There you go. Every time a country degrades its governance one level for whatever reason, remove one reaction marker if present. Just in alignment, do not move it. So that's what happened. It moved from fair to poor, so we remove one of these reaction markers. So it's a slow in the process. Next turn it's going to do that unless we can see now is the time to get a reaction an awaken marker in there this turn. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's pure adversity. I don't know if it was worthwhile bothering. But anyway, that goes away. That went from fair to poor. So that was a drop in fair countries and an increase in poor countries. Okay. Right, I think that's polarisation done. There's nothing else. Remember, this was all dealt with the previous turns. Can't see any more. So that's that. There was no civil war, like I say, so no attrition. Deal new cards. Remove lapse in events. There's none of them. Well, whether that one should have been lapsed or not, I don't know. Return off map troops to track. None of that. Regime change to tan. None of that either. Right, so cards though. So we're scoring here. We've got 9 odd troops on the track. We're in low intensity. So 9 cards for us. They've dropped down to moderate though. So 8 cards for them. And let me just pluck 17 cards off the top here. It feels pretty good again, I'll have to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One short. So the 9's to us this time, isn't it? So they've got 8, we've got 9. Yes, that's the first time we've been ahead in cards. Right, let me place them there, and then them there, and then I'm just going to push on for a little bit. That's us on to a new turn. Now you can see the deck. Well, I don't know if you can see it there or not. Want to say there's only 3 more turns there, maybe only 2. Possibly only 2 more turns. Maybe 3 though, I need to keep an eye on that. Now, if things don't come to a win condition, what's our condition for winning again? Is it, if there's not an outright win, it is we need more resources than them or something like that. Where the hell was this? I can't remember where it tells us this. Right, hang on. Yeah, 3 ways to win. However, the solo rules reduce it to only 2 ways for us to win. We can't win by there being no cells in any countries on the map. So, yeah, but we're not looking for an outright win. So end of game victory, we're only playing 1 deck. So if none of the conditions of 2.1 have occurred by the selected game end, reshuffle off the card deck. So as soon as we're done with the deck, the US wins if more than twice as many resources are under good governance as are under Islam's rule. Otherwise, the jihadists win. And then for this game end calculation only, count any regime change placed this turn as Islamist rule. So that's why you've got the green and tan regime change. So we need twice more than what they've got. So right now we're sitting at 4 and they're at 1. So right now if the game was to end, we would actually win. So, well, that's good then. So we're sitting in the right spot. Okay. But there's a bit to go yet. There's 1, 2, like I say, feels like there's probably 2 more turns. So we've got this turn and definitely 1 more turn anyway. Right, bot goes first. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Right, 1 ops US card Reaper. So they're not playing that. They have 2 reserves though. So this could be a 3 ops. No, they're probably just going to use the 1 and try Jihad there, I think. Well, let's see. So no major Jihad success pure possible, no. Is funding tight? No, it's moderate though. Is there a sell in good or fair Muslim where Jihad success possible? Yes, there is. In Algeria, Tunisia. So they're going to minor Jihad attempt in Algeria, Tunisia. The card's 1 ops. They're going to put this cell active and hopefully not roll a 1. So they've only got 1 cell, so they can only use the 1 ops, which is all they've got. So they're not going to radicalise with anything. Minor Jihad. 1 cell there must go already be active. Worsen governance. Remove aid. Yeah, if they fail, the cell goes back to the track and you don't play place a cadre. So they got 1 dice, they need a 1. No joy, good. And that's going back to the track that they can't use as well. So that gets removed, no cadre placed, goes back to the track. And they can't use these cells to recruit anyway. They can place them through event, but not recruit. Okay, that was a good start. Well, I was hopeful that's going to happen, but I mean, they keep doing that and eventually going to get lucky. Right, that's the first card played. Okay, so another US card. 2 ops this time. Yeah, I'm just going to start looking at the events that I'm missing out on, but let's just leave it. So now we can't recruit the 3 cells, and the other 12 cells are in Afghanistan. So I think it's going to end up with travelling. So no. Fund and moderate. Yeah, I forgot about that. Fund and moderate it is, yes. Procedure greater than 1, an active cell with troops. Well, we've no troops on the map either. Our prestige is greater than 1, but there's no active cells and there's no troops. So that's a no. Is there a cell available? Well, no. I mean, the word in there is, can we recruit a cell, obviously, and we can't while the funding's in moderate. So that's a no, because if it was a yes, it's going to go and recruit, and then we can't recruit them. So that is a no, yeah? So is there a cell in a non-Muslim country? This is one that threw me a while back as well, but no. All the cells are in Afghanistan, so that's a no. So they're going to travel. Where they're going to travel to? No, yes. Right, we know we've been through the priorities and it turns out to be Algeria, Tunisia. They've got 2 ops here, but 2 reserves, remember. So we're going to attempt to travel to Algeria, Tunisia. And again, travel from, well, there's only 1 country with cells. That's a no, that's a yes. And, well, you shouldn't even need to look there. Right, they've got 2 ops though, and they've got plenty of cells there though, so they're going to use 1 more ops and attempt to travel 3 of these to Algeria, Tunisia, yeah? Yeah, so 3 rolls and a 1 is the success. Ooh, I don't like that. So 1 failure, 2 successes. Oh, so it's close to 3, wasn't it? So 1 failure, that goes back to the track. 2 successes. Oh, I don't like that. So now they get 2 attempts at a jihad. Okay. Anything else there? No, they used one of the reserves to bump that to 3. Yep. Okay. That's their 2-card plays. Both not played for event, so just discarded cards. And it's back to me. Right. I haven't had a look, so let's have a look at our cards. Well, I think I mentioned I was close to a jackpot hand the last turn, and ended up the last 2 cards I turned over were both jihadist cards. Well, we've got the jackpot this time. There's no jihadist cards. I mean, when I say a jackpot, I'm just meaning that. There's no cards that I need to panic about. You know, I can play all these for... in fact, I can play all 9 cards for ops if I wanted to. Interesting, we've got the 2 cards here that were the other 2 cards you could search for. So curious to know if they were better than the one that I had to go and get. I guess as they might be. So yeah, I haven't read anything. So like I say, 4 unassociated cards, 5 US cards. I mean, unfortunately, 5 of these 9 cards are just 1 ops. And then there's 2 2-ops and 2 3-ops. So the numbers aren't great. However, let's see what they do. This is one of the ones that we could have went and got. So, US may play both Pakistan and Afghanistan are not under Islamist rule. Well, Afghanistan is, and Pakistan's heading that way. So we wouldn't have been able to play that anyway. You can see it's -2 funding, +3 prestige. So, yeah, pretty neat. But it looks like we're going to have to use it for 3 ops. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. US may play if Caliphate capital on the map. Well, there's not as well. So, to be honest, the cards wouldn't have been any good to us. +3 prestige remove. So, nice big prestige boosts with them. But more than likely, these are just going to be 5 ops worth. Which isn't terrible. It forces you to sort of say, well, I can't play for... I mean, I could keep this a little bit. I don't think keeping this through the turn is going to help, because I'm not going to... Afghanistan is always going to be Islamist rule. Well, I mean, I say that. If I was to get forced to go hard, or if I went hard somehow, then I would possibly regime change Afghanistan. So, maybe. Right, let's move on. Critical middle. This is the one that puts the card back in the middle of the deck, isn't it? Yeah, I missed it my previous playthrough, because I've got a special bit down the bottom. After playing or discarding, place this card face down in the approximate middle of the draw pile. So let's see if I remember that this time. If US play in a fair 2 or 3 resource country, place 1 awaken marker or shift alignment box 1 towards ally. If US play, so it needs to be a fair 2 or 3 resource country. We've got 2 or 3 resource. Gulf states, Syria. Is that only 2 fair countries? I'm showing 3 here. This is wrong, Graham. You missed something there. That should be 4. I've got 2 good and 2 fair. So this should be 4. It's easy to kind of miss these, and as long as it's not affecting an end of game winning score or something. And then poor Islamist rule, we've got Islamist rule there, that's 1, and then poor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 poor in Islamist rule. No, Nigeria doesn't count, that's 6, yeah, so that was right. It was maybe when the other one of them went good, maybe. Anyway, so I've got... Yeah, what is that? Yes, play in a fair 2 or 3 resource country, place 1 awaken marker there, or shift alignment box towards ally. So I could target Syria and either shift it to ally or place an awakening marker. Or could target the Gulf states and place an awakening marker. That's probably wasted there though. It's probably nice in Syria though. Okay. That's pretty good. Sectarian violence. Sorry, sectarian violence. Even. Okay. Remove one awakening or one hello. Pakistan. Is that? I mean, I said the fact it's adversary, but it is probably worth it, isn't it? It's going to slow it right down for them, because if I can take one reaction marker out of there, that's saying they're not automatically, they're going to have to start putting cells in and going for the jihad, the major jihad, isn't it? That's nice. I like that. I mean, there is other possibilities. There is other reaction marker. Well, in fact, here's another thought. That critical middle could put an awakening marker in there, give me 2, and that sectarian violence could remove that reaction marker. So that's quite nice as well. Something to think about. And then on US cards. Give me a second. Right, so mass turnout. It's a 3-ops US card. Play in a regime change country with an awakening marker. Improve its governance 1 level. Yeah, I mean, it's really good, but again, unless I happen to regime change, I'm at soft. There's nothing sort of suggesting I need to go hard, so might just be 3-ops. I probably don't want to just chuck it away early doors though. Keep it for a bit. Malala Yousafzai. +1 prestige, -1 funding. Okay, well that's good. Place 1 awaken marker in Pakistan. Blocked by jihadist play of 3 cups of tea. That's amazing, I think. We don't have 3 cups of tea, do we? No. +1 prestige, -1 funding, and place an awakening marker in Pakistan. So that would then allow me to not bother about removing one of these reaction markers, and that would stop the automatic increase. And it gives me +1 prestige, -1 to their funding. That's amazing. And then I would be able to do what I just said, use critical middle to put that to 2, and use sectarian violence to remove that. This is nice. Okay, moving on. Humanitarian aid. Place an aid marker in any country with a cell. I mean, you've only got Afghanistan, which is Islamist rule. Can I place aid in there? Or Algeria, Tunisia, but yeah, I'm not so sure I need that. Right, the last 2, Reaper, I think we've seen that before. Remove up to 2 cells in any one Muslim country. Hello? Is it our play? It is, isn't it? They've played their first 2 cards. Oh, this is getting better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. They only had 8 cards. Remove up to 2 cells in any one Muslim country or randomly discard 1 card from the jihadist's hand. Remove up to 2 cells from any one Muslim country. I mean, yeah, they need ones, but they might get one. And remember, they're down at moderate, and to tell you what, we're pushing them down even further with some of the cards we've got. This feels like a really good hand. Well, certainly better than I've had. Last hand was good as well, I think. Before that, maybe a bit not so. Right, Peshmerga. Player if cell present in Iraq or Syria. No, there's not. Plays 2 militia in one of those countries with a cell. Okay, so that's not playable at the moment, anyway. So 1 ops. That's fine. Remember, we can always war of ideas. Some of these have an attempt at France again with the likes of that card, or put in the reserves maybe if you want to boost something. Yeah, it feels good, but right. Well, I'm at 46 minutes. I should probably try and have a turn. Let me pause and have a look myself. Okay, I didn't spend much time there, but I think I should play these 2 events. I'm sort of tempted to take a chance with and leave the 2 cells. The fact that, to be honest, they have got 4 on the track, so they are going to get access to 1 in the moderate box, aren't they? But I put both of the cells back, and remember, this will leave cadre as well. I still think you should do it, Grant, because they are gonna. I don't know if we should sort of take our chances with that. Well, you know what? I think this is I really should play this. +1 prestige. Yeah, we're still up into medium, unfortunately, but I have said that maybe I could use a 1. If I'm wanting it, I'll get +1 more ideas. I could have a go with that Peshmerga card, I think. Which I don't think is going to be any use. As a 1 ops attempt at War of Ideas in France again. To get my prestige up even more. Well, as in get into this box here where we get the +1. Yeah, I'm going to play this. Yeah, and more so before they play 3 cups of tea. So we're playing Malala Yousafzai for the event. Okay, Malala Yousafzai, I'm sure I'm butchering that, apologies. This young Pakistani activist's demands for equal access to education resulted in a failed assassination attempt and her becoming a global leader for female Muslim education rights. She became the youngest winner of the Nobel Peace Prize when she received it in 2014. Many other awards and speaking engagements followed. Okay, so Malala Yousafzai, Pakistani youth wins Nobel Peace Prize. So, it's a US card. We're going to get +1 to our prestige. Let's just do that over here. So that goes up to 6. -1 to their funding. So that goes down to 5. Then we're going to place 1 awakening marker in Pakistan. And then it'd be blocked by the jihadist player 3 cups of tea, which is not in play. So we're going to place a awakening marker in Pakistan. So there we go, and that now stops this automatic Islamist rule for the moment. Well, it wasn't going to go automatic this turn, but it would have increased another reaction marker. So at the moment, I've halted that for now, anyway. And then yeah, that's it, and that card will get removed. So do I play? Do I play a Reaper and remove the cells? Or do we take a chance and either play critical middle? Well, I think I want to play both of these in Syria now. I suppose we might want to see what happens. Because I don't need to play this in Pakistan now. I mean, I could still, but in fact, is that crazy? Hang on. Oh. Does that? No, it doesn't, Grant. Because they're sitting with two. I'm just thinking I can just turn Pakistan right around, but no, I would get to place an awakening marker, knocking that up to 2, and I could remove one reaction marker, knocking that down to 1. So we'd be 2 to 1. But remember, their adversary, I would need to be 3 to 1 to make it worthwhile. You know, I need to be at least +2, or +3 would be amazing. But thing is, seeing a lot of these cards coming up now, and you know, it's a gamble. But whereas I can do that here in Syria, I can have that at 2 and remove that. Do I remove these cells though? I think I probably should, shouldn't I? Just use Reaper and remove the cells. It's only a 1-ops card, Grant. You know? I think that's probably the better play, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to play this for the event as well. So Reaper. Let's have a look. Alright, so you can see there's 3 of these cards. 126 to 128. Reaper. With 15 times the payload, carrying capacity, and 3 times the cruising speed of the Predator, the Reaper is changing the game for persistent aerial counterinsurgency. So Reaper Advanced UAV becomes operational. Remove up to 2 cells in any one Muslim country, or randomly discard 1 card from the jihadist's hand. I'm going to remove 2 cells from the Muslim country of Algeria, Tunisia. They'll go back to the track. One in there. It does mean they've got access to recruit that 1 cell. And because the last cell was removed through event, they will receive a cadre. And again, Grant has to go and double check that one. Yeah, it's travel or jihad that doesn't do it. It's disrupt or event that does do it, Grant. I'm pretty sure. Disrupt or event, yeah. Not jihad or travel, right? I'll still probably look the next time it happens. Okay. 53 minutes. Can I push a little bit more? Quite liked it, so I'm enjoying it. Right, this was... Both these were played for event. You can see this is getting removed. The other one is not. So... oops, trying to zoom out. Right, so that goes up the back. Removed. And Reaper is just discarded. Okay, let's push on one more jihadist phase just to see what happens here. Okay, let's go. Ooh, right, 3 jihadist card, unconfirmed. Search through the remove cards. Oh, see, there's a bit that actually involves remove cards. Oh my. Well, I know Osama bin Laden's there. These are similar cards to what we went and... Oh, no, it's not. I've still got it in my hand. But we played... Yeah, it's the same cards, isn't it? So, hang on, 197. Select the candidate card nearest the top of the removed cards pile. Ooh, yuck. Well, I have removed them in order. I'll come back to that in a second. Because I was saying earlier on there about, sometimes like, how I laid some discarded cards out at the side? Because it actually says that in the rules at some point. Set aside some... Is it 3 ops jihadist cards? If you're going to get an oil price spike, that's what they're going to pick. But I never thought they would look at the discard pile. I want to say, like, if you going back to my Magic the Gathering time, you've got a graveyard. Your graveyard needs to be in order because it can select the certain cards that will look at the graveyard in order. And same with certain games that look at a discard pile in order. But this card's actually looking at... Well, to be honest, it's not the card, it's the event here. It's the event instructions that's want me to look at these in order. They're removed from game pile. So search through the removed cards and select, reveal and draw one of Ayman al-Zawahiri, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, Abu Sayyaf, Jihadi John, or Osama bin Laden into hand. And it's going to hit our prestige for -1. The thing is, that's just going to go on top. That's going to be the next card they play, isn't it? Because it just goes on top of their... Yeah, it does. I'll confirm that in a minute. So 197... Select the candidate card nearest the top of the removed cards pile. Okay. So, but I haven't messed about with these. At least I don't believe I have. So, we're looking for... It's going to be that one, isn't it? Ayman al-Zawahiri. Yeah, because that's the one we took. What does it do? -1 prestige for every 4 reaction markers. Oh my. Or fraction thereof. I think there's maybe 5. There's only 4. Oh, there's 5. And we're not getting a card in between here. Oh no, this is going to hurt. Yeah, looking at these... Well, to be honest, that may be the only one anyway. I think it is, actually. Al-Maliki. No, that's not one of them, is it? Oh, it's the actual character, isn't it? Character? Sorry, not character. What am I going to say there? Candidate, I suppose. Right, he's nearest the top, so that's the one. In fact, he's the only one that's there. So it's going to search through the removed cards and select, reveal, and draw that card. And when the bot draws a card, it goes on top. It does, Grant. Don't leak. It does. Thing is, this is a new bot. Jihadist bot. Always play, remove, or add cards from or to the top of the stack. Yeah. Okay, it's there. It's in the rules. So that's where that goes. But the thing is that I'm not getting a chance to intervene here because that's going to be the second card. And that's why it's done it that way, I suppose. That's why it's done. So, and also, so it's done that. Now, hang on, we're playing this event. Hang on. Okay, 197 unconfirmed. Claims of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's death in a drone strike during the early rise of ISIS ultimately proved false. Due to the secretive nature of jihadist networks, similar claims of other leaders' demise have sometimes taken months to confirm. This card also represents a capable jihadist leader rising from the ranks to fill the leadership void caused by the loss of the predecessor. Yeah, and that's what it states in the rules, that if you happen to... There's some cards that sort of copy each other from the base game to the Awakening in it. And if you happen to come across the same character that probably should be removed, candidate, like Osama bin Laden's one of them, then you just assume that it's somebody taken over that's, in his place or something like that. So, okay, unconfirmed. Claims of high value target demise unrealised. So we've got the card, and then -1 to our prestige. Okay, and that's that. Well, we can finish that by just turning the next card, and it's pretty... Maybe dealt as me, and we're getting a big hit to our prestige. Right, so 2 Ayman al-Zawahiri. The reserves are at 1, so we're going to get a boost to that as well, because this is unassociated. They are going to play this for the event, though. Well, I think we just played this. We've just played this event anyway. I don't need to read this out, do we? We just played this as US. And it got removed. And that guy... well, the card was called unconfirmed, so that's quite clever, I suppose. This card was removed from the game. But, like it says in the event there, that... I'm not... I don't know a lot of the details and that, but it said that one of these guys, can't remember which one it was confirmed dead, and then that proved to be untrue. So it's quite cool. That's then bringing this card back from the removed from the game. So this guy's basically not been removed, and now he's getting played for their side. Yeah, very good. Okay, so I don't need to read it out because I've just 219. Let me just look. I'm pretty sure I just done it recently, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So I'm not going to read through it again. So, but this time we're playing it for the... And there's not a different event to read if you're playing it for either faction. Eh? So if you had this, -1 prestige for every 4 reaction markers or fraction thereof on the map. Right, I wasn't sure about this before, but I figured that it had to be multiples of 4. But if you've got more than 4 and less than 8, if you've got up to 4, 1, 2, 3 or 4, it's going to hit your prestige for 1. If you've got 5 to 8, it's going to hit your prestige for 2, and then, etc. So, unfortunately, I think there's 5 reaction markers here. So we've got 1 in Turkey, 1 in Syria, which I was going to remove one of these as well, wasn't I? But now that's what I'm saying, I can't intervene. They're playing their 2 cards. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 1 in Yemen's 5. And there's not a balance between the 2. It's just for every 4 reaction markers or fraction thereof, we're going to get -1 to our prestige. So it's -2 to our prestige. How bad is that? Boom, boom. Down into low. Were we up at 7 there? No, we were at 6, but I think we had planned to be getting to 7. Well, yeah, maybe by trying to turn France soft or something, wouldn't I? Yeah, okay. Okay. So, big hit to the prestige. Right, that's their 2 cards done. Right, I'm going to have to call it now, I think. So, this was played for event. This gets removed. And interestingly, this was played not for the US play, which removed it. It was played for jihadist play, so this gets discarded. So, unconfirmed gets removed. And this just goes discard, I think. Yeah, that's the way it works. Okay, so things were looking really good for us there, and then, I mean, it was just a hit to our prestige, but the fact it's went -1, that's maybe not terrible, is it? And we can still do messing about with our awakening markers, reaction markers, and hopefully we can still have a go at France going soft, which will then give us our prestige back as well. Yeah, something like that. Right, I better call it a night, I think. I hope to be back soon, though. I've enjoyed this today. It's been good because I've been away for a few days, and don't think I've done much dilly-dally in there as well. I felt like the 2 parts went... I had some gameplay at least. Right, I'll be back soon. Cheers.